Hello, my name's Tim, and I have Parkinson's disease. Let me first say I am not a doctor. I'm just an old man that has Parkinson's disease. About a month ago, I made a video stating that I'm going to try something new. I had done this before with another product, Crexont, and just because of the way my body is, that didn't work very well for me. But this time I'm trying something called Vyalev. Oh, and by the way, I don't work for Vyalev either. I'm retired, been retired for a long time. But I got the pump, and that first video that I put together, I just basically showed you the piece parts, put it all together and then plug it in, and away I go. So anyway, that's what happened. Everybody came back from vacation, doctor, trainers, everybody. So I had the trainer come by, and she taught quite well the right and the wrong way to do what I need to do for this to work. And went to the doctor, and I was there a few hours getting this thing going right. So when I got there, I I was taught how to take care of all this stuff. So I went ahead and put it all together, started infusing myself. Now, before I tell you if it worked or not, there's two charts I'd like to just go through. One of the charts, the first chart, is talking about the old way, using the sentiment, and the alarm goes off. Oh, now I got to take another pill. Oh, can't eat right now. I got because it's so many minutes. Very, very difficult with the sentiment. And then the other chart is just talking about using infusion, not going through the stomach, but going subcutaneously and infusing the medication into my body. It gets to the brain a lot faster. So I'm going to go through these two charts, and then I'll tell you how it went. Here's a chart that shows you over time what happens when we have less and less dopamine in our brain to control muscles. If you look off to the left, you can see on the vertical axis, that's how much levodopa is in your blood. And then it's time on the horizontal axis. First, you can see from 0 to 4 years, 4 to 7, 7 to 10, and beyond 10. So the longer we have Parkinson's, you can see that window, that sweet spot, is narrowing down. You take your carbidopa levodopa tablet, and it's got quite a journey to go from your mouth all the way to your brain. So you're on. It's not an easy task, and sometimes it just doesn't make it for many reasons. But looking at this, you can see with this waveform, it's like pulsative. So you take it, it takes a while, and then you're on. You don't have akinesia, or you're not rigid or stiff or off. For me, it's been about 7 years. So where it says 7 to 10 years, that's what's happening to me. I'd be off, get up in the morning, I'm off. I take my medication. It takes a while. Finally, I'm on. But then after a while, I might have dyskinesia. And then I'm on again. And then all of a sudden I'm off until I take my next pills. It's very difficult to keep everything just perfect. And it gets more and more difficult as time goes. If we could just some way get rid of this sine wave, because it's, in pulses, we take the medication, too much, too little, all sorts of variations. If we could just make this continuous instead of having all these peaks and valleys, it would be very, very accurate. Here's a trumpet graph showing where the therapeutic window is. That's the on time. That's when we feel normal again. That's where the blue is. You don't see the up and the down, the peaks and the valleys. Doctor's always adjusting your dose, up and down a little bit. Take a half of one now, maybe a quarter here, and it's very difficult to get it to look like this. So once you start the infusion off to the left, it gets up to that point, whatever that is, it's been calculated, and it just stays steady until you need to make an adjustment as time moves on. So, did it work? Let me put it this way. That first chart, when I was taking the Cinnamate, if you go back about 7 years ago, 7 years ago, when I was diagnosed, I hadn't taken any Cinnamate. So that was the first thing I did. I took Cinnamate, and I was like being reborn. And I didn't have dyskinesia. I didn't go off. I just stayed on. Of course, the window was really big way back then, so I just stayed on. Of course, as time goes, start having all these issues. Okay, the next chart shows the pathway, the continuous. At a particular level, I have levodopa in my blood at this level, and it just stays at that level. Always giving me like 0.40 milligrams per whatever, milliliters. Anyway, it's great. It's like being reborn again. When I put it on, first of all, when I went to the doctor, I was off. So I put it on, and when we got to the point, after all the calculations and the numbers were right, I felt like 7 years ago when I first took Cinnamate. I was a new person again. And I can admit, since I've had it, there's only one time that I was off. And that's because I thought, I don't think I could sleep with this. So I think for tonight, I'll take a extended release, 50, 200 carbidopa, levodopa. And then in the morning, when I get up, I'll put it back on, start infusion again. But that night that I didn't have the Vyalev working on me, I was getting restless legs. I got 2 hours of sleep that night. Didn't work very well. But that was a few days ago. And since then, I'm on. I'm a new person. It's working. I like it. Bye.